got arrested, we keeping that private. Buy me a Hyatt for Wyatt. I'ma make sure that you go on a diet. Eat from your plate, you can tell that I like it. You thought you was gonna bag my chick. Yeah, right.
How y'all doing today? I'm your host, Zach Shoemaker, and I hope you guys are having a very blessed day, even amongst all the stuff going on in the world right now. But before I go any further, make sure you hit the subscribe button below. I more than appreciate that. If you could also like and comment, that would be huge. And if you're listening to this on a different podcast platform, make sure to also subscribe, give a 5-star review, like, comment, whatever you can. I would definitely appreciate that as well. But why do you not want to miss today's episode? Why will it be so special? Well, you're just going to hear from one of the top players in the 2021 recruiting class. And of course, the first member and the only commit of this 2021 Stanford recruiting class, which is number 10 all the country, and Isael Silva. You're not going to miss hearing from Isael. It's going to be a can't-miss interview. But what else is big time that I'm currently producing? Well, the big thing is obviously right now, my IG Live interview is going down every day. You don't want to miss a single one of those. As well as also when basketball comes back, I'll be doing big time. I'll be doing breakdown all again. You don't want to miss any of that. And of course, shoes, views, interviews are still going to be uploaded to YouTube, still going down. So how do you not miss any of those? How do you stay up to date on that? Well, head over to my Instagram and Twitter account and follow me at Zach Shoemaker. Once again, that's at Zach Shoemaker, just my name. You guys also find the link to my accounts on the bios below. But as you guys know by now, this interview is brought to you by the Player Circle. And now the Player Circle is the only social networking app designed specifically for grassroots basketball players and coaches. Post all your career mixtapes, highlights, accomplishments, commitment edits, you name it, to get noticed by coaches and scouts all over the country. Download the App Store now. As well, also go check out Recruits News. That's Recruits News. You can check it out, obviously, in the description once again. You're not going to miss what they have. They bring you up to date on commitments. They bring you up to date on stats. Everything. You don't want to miss them. Trust me, they're big time. Both men's, women's, high school basketball. You don't want to miss it. But with that being said, let's get into this interview with Isael. You're not going to miss it. And Isael's interview starts right after this. Let's be welcome on one of the top players in the country, number 23 in 2021, a 4-star, number 4 overall point guard, number 2 overall player in California. He's one of the stars in Compton Magic and a Jesuit. And of course, Stanford commit Isael Silva. What's going on today, my guy?
How you doing, bro? Nice to, get on here and, talk some hoop.
Absolutely. I mean, first of all, man, congratulations on committing.
Thank you. I appreciate that so much. Thank you.
Of course, and let's talk about this. Stanford's had a big week last week. I mean, they land obviously Zaire Williams, and now they land Gio. I mean, talk about the new movement for Stanford.
I just think, both of us. I don't know if he knew I was going. I didn't know he was going, but we're friends, so we both, we've been talking about it, and it's just like a decision we feel like is a really good basketball decision for us. And then eventually, hopefully we both have long, professional NBA careers, because I know that's both of our dreams. But then after that, we'll have the Stanford Network that's like a huge cherry on top. And I know the coaching staffs believe in both of us, so I'm really excited.
And we see this, we see obviously the Blue Bloods, they have the top players come in year out, but we see some movements. ASU's one of them as well in the Pac-12 that land a couple of star players. What kind of is this shift? Why was it Stanford all of a sudden stepped up and became this kind of school that lands stars?
I think it's people just accepting that it's okay to have your own path and have your own journey. There's different paths to make it to your dreams, and you don't want to take the one that looks best if it's not the one that fits you best. And I think families and student athletes are getting comfortable choosing other schools that are going to support their dreams, and not have the same status, but they can elevate that school to that status, and and hopefully add more schools to the mix where kids feel comfortable choosing.
And when you get there, I'm not sure if all these guys will still be there, but the Pac-12 all of a sudden jumped from maybe being one of the lower Power 5 conferences to this year maybe one of the best, having guys like Evan Mobley, having Dalen Terry, having Marcus Bagley, Jay Gupp. The list goes on. So seeing this Pac-12 start to get stacked, what's it going to be like playing in there?
I'm excited. I want to play the best teams and best players in the country. So, bring it on. Hopefully everybody starts going to the Pac-12. That's exciting.
And a lot of those guys that just list happen to be Compton Magic guys. Seeing these guys all kind of stay together, stay around where you guys are going to be playing each other potentially, what would it be like?
It's going to be great. We're going to go at each other on the court, but then off the court, we'll be united by something bigger, and, that being the Compton Magic family. And, that's a strong bondage we all have. Hopefully we get to, fingers crossed we'll get the end of the summer, and have a little time with them. But, I'm excited for that for sure.
And two of your teammates at Compton, obviously Reese and Malik, are both going to USC. I mean, seeing some of these guys team up, obviously the Mobley brothers are out there too, Coach Mobley. I mean, just seeing a lot of these guys team up. I mean, is there anyone maybe on your Compton Magic team that you're trying to get on Stanford?
On my Compton Magic team, not yet, not specifically, but there's some. I'm already starting to recruit some players, so I have a feeling that there's going to be a big splash in Stanford hoops coming up. I don't know when, but we're all working on it.
And you are the face of the recruiting class. I mean, obviously being the first guy and being one of the stars of this class. I mean, you look forward to. You're kind of going to be the recruiter now. I mean, talk about what it's going to take, kind of being in that role now.
I think just making people feel comfortable. I know, you want to go through the experience of visiting all the big time programs, but just making people feel comfortable with trusting their gut. Not trying to force anybody to do anything they don't want to, but at the same time, just letting them know why I chose it, and opening, my decision making, and like my family, letting them talk to their families. Like, it's going to be an effort because we're trying to win a national championship and get to the NBA. So that's what I'm going to sell to people, and I'm going to try to be as genuine as possible because I know it can happen.
And as I said, you are 2021. You still have another year left. So, I mean, what kind of led you that you knew right now at this point in time Stanford's the right school?
I just knew that I think they believed in me like so much. They want me to be the face of that program and just help elevate it and help bring a culture that they've had, but they want to bring it consistently to where they're not going to be looked at as just a school. He's just going there for academics, like to go there to like win championships and achieve your dreams. So they always tell me that from I would say from the players to the video coordinator to the head coach to the assistant coaches. I mean, they all have a good relationship with me and they all believe in me a lot. So at that point, it's like, and I visited. It's pretty close to home. I have family on staff. My cousin's actually a student manager.
Okay.
So it was just, and they accept everyone in my circle, and they're open to growth, and I'm open to growth, and it's just a place where I can see myself growing into a really good player and helping the program at the same time. So I didn't want to wait for a blue blood to pull the trigger, or some of them that were talking to me. Like I knew what I wanted, and I'm excited to make the choice. So now I can just work every day.
And we do have to talk about this. I mean, personally, I kind of miss the guys obviously going on ESPN, going on shows and committing that way, showing a jersey or hat, but you obviously did a commitment edit that was special. I mean, you had one of the most famous painters come out and paint the commitment in your commitment video. I mean, how'd you get that set up?
So one of my trainers actually knows him pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
He's like a Sacramento legend, the painter. So he put us in touch. I called him, let him know my idea, and he was with it from the jump. So I connected him with my parents. We set up a good date, and then the videographer Jake Soriano, who's one of the best in the world, he actually works for the Kings. So I know a lot of people that work for the Kings, and I've known him for a while because he used to do some high school mixtape stuff. So I called him up and asked if he wanted to do it, and put two and two together and produce a pretty special project.
I mean, how'd you kind of get the idea going? Because like I said, I mean, today is kind of general, just commitment video. We see the jersey and all that, but like I said, it was something special. I mean, how did it kind of pop up in your idea in your mind to do that?
I mean, I just want to do something. I want to do something different.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to. I know nobody's ever done that, so hopefully people can take that idea and start being creative with it. I like to have fun with what I love, so why not do it from a production standpoint? So that was why.
That's awesome. And once again, going to Stanford, I mean, this obviously, we know the coronavirus all going on right now, and it is tough because you can't do visits during this time period. So, I mean, you did take a visit before, though. So when you went on that visit, take us through that time. What was that visit like?
I was just embraced. Like, I just felt like I was already part of the program. Being able to just, be one with the school was important as well. Like, I'm going to be a student there, too. So, I'm going to go to class, before I practice and work out as much as I can. So just being comfortable with that. And the coaches just face-to-face. The whole visit, I was just trying to, nitpick, like, their body language and what they were like and what the players were like, how they responded to them. and I came away impressed and excited. And then I thought we were gonna have a spring, but then we didn't have a spring, so it kind of just forced our family to really think back on it, and so it checked all the boxes and more. So that's how it came about.
And talk about coach. I mean, obviously the coach has a huge impact on your decision. I mean, talk about your relationship. How's that continue to grow during this time period?
Me, Coach Hass is like he's like my uncle. Like he really cares for me, loves me, and we talk about family stuff. We won't even talk about basketball sometimes. We'll just talk about I don't know, a TV show or like cooking dinner or something. Like it just feels like he already embraces me as a part of his family. And I haven't even worked my tail off for him yet, but I know I'm gonna work my hardest to help him, and he's gonna work his hardest to help me. So that's a real special relationship. Like he brought his kid to come watch me play in the playoffs. Like it's just something that I have a really good feeling about.
That's awesome, man. Another key thing I know is assistant coaches. Sometimes guys have a really close relationship with those guys. I mean, is there anyone on the assistant coaching staff that you kind of are really close to?
Yeah, I mean, all of them. Coach Wilmer, Coach Orlick. I mean, those guys I'm really close to. But Coach Cohen and Coach Pruitt. Coach Pruitt kind of started recruiting me, and then Coach Cohen kind of, started taking the reins and pushing me and challenging me to think more about it. And I've grown close to both of them. So those two guys I talk to pretty much every day, and they're just like now it's like getting me ready to be there and make an impact. So the conversations we have about analytics, what the NBA looks for in analytics, college transition stuff, like their film on like steals and stuff. So I'm really excited that those relationships are going to continue to grow too.
You didn't necessarily start blowing up. You didn't become a national prospect until just a couple years ago. I mean, you obviously had a couple of mixtapes come out, the Ricky Rubio 2.0 stuff, and then you had the top 30 breakout game. I mean, talk about what it was like starting to get the offers pull in, starting to get the rankings go up.
I mean, it's cool to see because I know how much time I put in the game. So it's really something I just had to you have to be happy for yourself. I mean, you don't want to confuse being happy with yourself with being satisfied. But at the same time, it's awesome. Like, I don't even think I'm, there's some stuff I do very well, but there's just so much room for me to grow and so much untapped potential, and I think that's true for anybody. But, that's the part of basketball that has me hooked is, there's so much room to grow. And if you guys think I'm a top 30 player now, then, I don't know. If I just keep working, it's sky's the limit. For anybody, as long as they put their mind to it and they have the right mindset. So, I mean, but it was cool for people to acknowledge me. That Pangos camp was really fun. I think I'm just playing free and being myself. That's what I was excited about more than where rivals or 24/7, more than where they put me. I mean, it's humbling for people who study at basketball for a living to put value on me, but at the same time, you want to enhance that value as much as possible until you're unsurpassed.
I couldn't agree more. And you obviously look at that, and throughout your recruiting process, I mean, I believe some of the schools that were hardest with you were, of course, Stanford, but you look at Arkansas, Arizona, I mean, Gonzaga. I mean, talk about those schools. How invested were they in you, and just what your relationship were with those programs?
They were all just really nice, genuine people who love my game, and even when I had to tell them that I wasn't going there, they appreciate me as a person, and I credit my parents for that. Them being impressed with how I carry myself, that's them and their parenting. But Coach Shaka Smart, that's my guy. It's hard to tell him because we click pretty well, and he thinks basketball all day, and I think basketball all day. So we were starting to have a really good relationship, but all the schools, I appreciate them all so much. It's not easy to put so much energy into a kid and then not have them in your jersey. So I'll always appreciate them.
And with that, you're obviously heading out into your senior season, committed already. You don't have to worry about the college stuff anymore for the first time of your really high school career now. So having that pressure off you, what do you want to get done and accomplish in this upcoming season?
Obviously I want to stay healthy. I want to bring my team together and win. I haven't. I'm like a perfectionist, so I don't think I've won or efficiently, analytics. I haven't done as well as I want to, so I just want to have a really good season and stay really disciplined, like I think I am now, just with everything I do, with my routine, with the way I shoot, just holding my follow through. Those are my goals, and then everything else, the best players, most valuable players, McDonald's, like all that stuff's gonna come if you work and focus on bringing people together and staying humble. So those are my goals, is winning.
And we talk about obviously the basketball world, high school ball, and something that's become really popular. Obviously, is going to prep route, playing a national schedule. Has it had any
Yeah.
appeal to you?
We're having conversations about it. We've had conversations, for a couple of years now. It's something we're gonna have to look into more, and we don't really know yet. Right now, I'm just focused on Jesuit High School winning games.
Absolutely. And another thing, obviously, that's a new trend is we saw another guy obviously go and Handshakes now go to the G League route. And I can imagine for you being a top player that the G League either has or probably will reach out to you at some point. I mean, what kind of option and what's your thoughts on the G League route?
It depends where you are in your development.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, we're just trying to put on a little more weight after season. So I ended season 174. Now I'm at 185. But playing against men is a whole different ballgame because you gotta, like, the bumps are different. In terms of skill, I think I could be ready, but you're playing against men like every single day. So it'd be an adjustment. I don't know much about it, but I think it's cool for seeing some kids because it's the best route for them and they get to help their family. So power to them, and I think it's great.
Couldn't agree more. And like you said, obviously we have three guys right now, but really we're going to start seeing the impact come 2021 and come throughout the rest of classes. So you being in 2021, I mean, what's kind of the buzz? What do you kind of feel like that impact will have now on future classes?
I think we're going to start to be approached. The agents and runners are always going to be there. But hopefully when we get to summer and spring, I think it's going to get a little more interesting. I think they'll start to reach out for the top players and, try to sell them on their vision and the NBA's new development programs. So it's kind of like what they do overseas. You start playing pro early and get paid already. So I think it's a transition that was bound to happen. And it's going to happen soon. We'll just see, if it's a viable option and if it works.
Absolutely. And now we talk obviously about you heading into this next year once again, and you have a lot of accolades you want to become. I can imagine obviously you want McDonald's All-American, you want different awards like that. So what do you have to do to accomplish that and be able to get those awards?
I got to take care of my body, first of all. I think everybody does. You can't get to any of those or play basketball if you're hurt or not healthy. So I think staying strong and durable is real important for me. And I think just showing people how versatile I am, versatile and strong, and just if you think it's my weakness, I'm gonna show you it's not. And just working every day towards that and staying real disciplined. I think discipline and evolve are like my two favorite words. And as long as you work, and I'm gonna outwork everyone, or try my best to, and at the same time be appreciative for the people and things around me. I think that's a good recipe to, try and reach your goals or surpass them.
And we have to talk about this too. I mean, you're not the tallest point guard in the country or the tallest guard. You're not the most athletic. I mean, but you still obviously do your thing. You are one of the top players. How are you able to do that without having that many physical or athletic gifts like that?
I think it's just skill, knowing how to. People underestimate how to change speeds. That's what we're working on now, is changing speeds and then exploding. Because I'm able to change speeds and then put the ball in places where they don't expect it. So it's just basketball is a game of skill, and eventually, you can keep working on skill and you can keep working on athleticism. But if you don't have skill, it's really hard to play the game. So I'm just trying to learn new techniques of how to get by people. Some of my angles, I need to get better at my angles because angles are really important in basketball. So if you cut an athlete off this way, they might catch you and pin you off the glass. But if you just cut him off a little closer, you can place the ball where he can't get it. So just working on that and staying mentally sharp.
And that's something that obviously you said you're still working on it, and you've been able to get to this point still without obviously reaching the ultimate pinnacle of all the skills. So, I mean, how did it first start clicking that you realize, okay, I'm going to need to start taking skill really seriously?
I think it was like growing up, like passing and ball skill was always natural.
Mm-hmm.
But I used to not dribble the ball at all. I used to be a catch and shoot, just corner to corner. Until about sixth grade, me and my dad talked about it. Like, the next stage for me, if I want to reach my dreams, like then my goal, it still is my goal, is to be the best player ever. Like, can't do that just being one dimensional. So that's when we started just hammering in ball handling, like the same stuff every day with the heavy ball. And ever since then, like that combined with just like luckily and gratefully having an innate ability to know what's going on the floor without having to look everywhere. It intrigues me because there's so much more skills that you can enhance and grow by watching film and by practicing, especially when you play against other guys. So, I'm excited to continue to work at that and better my craft.
I believe in middle school you're about 5'7", and you're now around 6'3". I mean, you growing to that much of a growth spurt, how much has it helped your game? And talk about how you kind of adjusted to having the new height.
Oh man, it's been great. It's helped so much. Yeah, I was about 5'8", freshman year 6'1", last year 6'2", 6'3", now probably 6'3", maybe 6'4" with shoes. It's been great. Like it's funny. People make fun of me because like they're like, "How'd you grow?" Like, and my coach is like, he willed himself to grow. So like I never had a doubt in my mind that I was gonna be tall, but like being a little guy growing up, being smaller, like it just gave me a little chip.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm happy. I'm happy I wasn't a 6'4", number one sixth grader in the country like that. I think that helped me because now I just realized like what it's like to be that small, and small guys, they have a little syndrome that it's hard to knock them off course. So that's something I always try to have, and I'm fortunate enough to have grown, and thanks to God, and having good nutrition. I'm a good size, and hopefully I can just get stronger and grow into my frame.
And you talk about another thing that's big about you is you obviously have handshakes with pretty much everyone. I mean, just talk about why you've kind of become so well known for having handshakes.
I don't know. I think that's more the creative piece.
Mm-hmm.
Like saying hi to people like can get boring. I mean, now with Corona, like I don't dap nobody up, but I think just being creative, saying hi to people. That's a good thing. Like you have to remember it. So sometimes I'll forget someone's handshake, and that's like I hate that. So I try to keep as many handshakes and try to remember them because it's kind of like a focus type of thing where you gotta remember like who you had the handshake with and what it was. So I don't know. I think I've always done that as a kid. I'm just goofy sometimes.
And another big thing that you've kind of created is we see all these jelly fams, we see the jam fams and all this, but you created your own thing, Wolfway. I mean,
Yeah.
how'd that come up? How'd you kind of come up with that idea?
I think I've told this story before. So there's a trainer in LA named Charlie Torres. Works out Clay, Stanley Johnson, Luka Doncic. Great person. And before I chose my high school, he sent me this video called "How Wolves Change Their Environment," and it was basically about how when you drop a pack of wolves or drop a wolf in Yellowstone Park. They did an experiment. Like Yellowstone was like struggling, like the river like was misshapen, trees weren't growing, like there was no vegetation because like the deer were all eating it. So like they dropped the pack of wolves in there, and then like 6 months go by, and like the river gets its shape back. Like there's flowers everywhere. It's the most trees that have been in Yellowstone in like the history of Yellowstone, and it's all because of these wolves. So he just sent me that video, and at first I was like, why is this dude sending me like National Geographic videos? I want to play basketball. But then we just watched it again, me and my dad, and like we just we're like wow, like that's impactful, knowledge to know that that's how he was thinking and that's how I was thinking about going into a school and changing the culture. So I was like, man, that's something I want to embody. So I started. I mean, me and my dad came up with the Wolfway and started that. Just as I think it's being okay with your own path and changing the culture in places and enhancing the culture, not changing it from what it was, but just making it better. And that's something I want to do at Stanford and do in the NBA and do the rest of my life wherever I'm at is change the culture and uplift the people around me. So that's how it came about.
That's awesome. And you always talk about your family and your dad. I mean, you guys obviously are from Mexico, or at least your parents are. I mean, talk about you kind of representing that and kind of representing your home.
Yeah. So my dad was actually born in Mexico. Mom was born here, but both my grandparents on both sides, immigrated from Mexico. It's just like I was talking about earlier. It's something that helps me. That helps like give me a little fight. I fight for them and fight for all they went through to help get their kids a better opportunity. And now, being their grandchildren, I get to carry the torch and hopefully do something special that their names will always be remembered. Hopefully, that's what I want to get to. Is my name's remembered for playing basketball, but then their story gets to be told and inspire others through that. That's my Mexican American heritage is real important to me.
And I know you obviously get confused a lot. People always don't know if you're American, if you're from overseas. I mean, I know you've also had a lot of those complications before. I mean, what's some of the stories and how you kind of just dealt with that throughout your life?
Man, I've gotten Middle Eastern, Argentina, Brazil, Jewish, man, you name it. New Zealand, Australia, like people don't even know. But I'm Mexican American, born in the U.S. Both families are from Mexico.
That's awesome. And we see someone like Spencer Dinwiddie obviously has now been able to go. He's not from Nigeria, but he obviously he's going to be playing with them for the Olympics. And for you, I mean, would that possibly be any impact potentially playing on a Mexican team down the line someday?
Yeah, I mean, we've talked to kind of both sides of the party, the USA side and the Mexico side. So, obviously, USA has opportunities that Mexico doesn't. So it's not from like a proud standpoint where, I'm going to play for Mexico no matter what. USA basketball is amazing and they do a great job. So if they come and that opportunity presents itself, I'm definitely gonna go there. But I can see myself playing for both. I'd be honored to do either.
No doubt, man. Before I let you go, there's one more thing I want to touch up on, and that's obviously faith. I know it's a huge part in your life. I mean, just talk about your faith with God and just your how much your faith impacts your everyday life.
Like I think I needed. My goal is to get closer with him. Always, I think that's anybody's goal, even if you're really close with him. But like, he's someone I always turn to when it's good, but turn to when it's bad. I think you don't just want to turn to him when you're in a situation that you don't want to be in or something really good happened, because that's not fair to him. But he's always in my corner, and none of this could be possible without him. And I want to represent that as best as possible and spread his message, because he's given me so much. He's given me so much ability and a platform where I can inspire and spread his word. So I'm gonna do that forever, and always have him by my side. And now I know he's always watching over me and watching over my family. So God's a part of me, and this is all His work. So that's all I can say.
Couldn't agree more. And you talk about that. I mean, going through a world of obviously being an athlete, there's temptation, there's stuff like that, and you're obviously keeping your faith. Not all people obviously will become a faith and member of God, but I mean, how do you kind of plan to stick on your path and stick to who you are down this entire road?
I think that's why God created family. That's what family's for. Keeping you level-headed, keeping you grounded, keeping good habits is really important, especially if you want to be great. Like you talk about being in the NBA, but if you want to be, in different conversations and your fourth max contract conversations, like that's going to take detail-oriented thought processing and work. And if you have God on your side and you have faith, then I think all that can be done with limited distraction.
Couldn't agree more, my guy. Well, I definitely appreciate you taking time to come on, man, and definitely congratulations on committing.
Appreciate you, bro. Thank you for having me.
Anytime, man. You know you're always welcome, and God bless, man.
Yes, sir. Stay blessed. I appreciate you.